Hello to you. My name is Jesse Johnson. This video is life. The three forms of life. As far as can be told, there are three forms of life. The highest of all things is life itself. Life is understandable in two major ways. One, external, such as chemicals, atoms, biology, genetics, etc. Two, internal, from actually being a living being. The purpose of life is living. All life, every form, known and unknown. The meaning and value of life is in itself and nothing external. Life is the extreme specific organization of elements producing a specific synergistic whole of extreme specific complexity. The first form of life, such as the basic type on Earth, at basis is made of 100% vibrations with their specific frequencies. These vibrations at micro levels are called atoms and their substructures, vibrations of extreme high frequencies per second. Protons, neutrons, and electrons have extrapolated vibratory frequencies of 10 to the 15th power to 10 to the 24th power per second in hertz. These vibrations undulate, move in smooth patterns, oscillate, move back and forth very rapidly, pulsate, expand, and contract rhythmically, beat, moment force repeated, vibrate, move back, forth, to and fro, rapidly, etc. Every cause is an effect, and every effect is a cause. Everything, all and non-thing, is the cause, effect, and effect cause of everything else. Distances apart exist, but true separation does not. True independence do not exist among things. Everything is the byproduct of all other things else. Now, these micro-vibration packs, atoms and subatoms, interlocked with each other, producing molecules. This is no accident, of course. After hundreds of trillions and more years of producing life, nature knows what it is doing. Humans don't. Molecules building into viruses, cells, multicells into organisms. A mass of very dense vibration frequencies transmitting vibration frequencies miles in every and all directions. Every single thing, living or non-living, is a transmitter and a receiver in one, connecting each virus cell to cells into multi-cell systems, into species, genus, families, orders, classes, kingdoms, etc., where each species is a microcosm of complexity unto itself, with hundreds of thousands to millions of species. Each individual of a species is a sub-microcosm of that species. All life is a total whole, a single unit, a single network of extreme complex networks within networks within sub-networks. The first life form is particulate, atoms, chemicals, energy constructs, like ourselves. But that particulate energy is extreme vibration frequencies. This produces waves of energy, such that the second form of life is composed of 100% electromagnetic, extreme dense standing wave energy. Hold on, please. Let's continue. All major life forms of chemical life have as an aspect a secondary life structure of its system of extreme dense standing, non-translatory electromagnetic wave energy compositions. This is no opinion or belief of mine. The second life field, as in contrast to the first life field chemicals, when a major life form chemically, physically body dies and slowly over hours or a few days stops functioning, the second life field is moving away. This is something I've seen personally several times. The first and second life fields I know to exist presently. As far as I can tell, we are composed of about 75% first life field chemicals and about 25% second life field living light. The second life field is composed of only light. I do not know how nature produces a living being from light. I only know that nature does so from experience. Though the first life field is dead, the second life field is very much alive. I do not know for how long. A biological composition made of light, no doubt taking beyond tens of millions of years to perfect. The first life form is composed of particulate or chemical or packs of high vibratory frequency energy atoms. The second form of life is composed of non-translating, standing, non-traveling light. Excuse me, let's continue, please. The third life form of life is something I consider to be, though I have no proof. Everything is a field and fields, micro and macro wise. Everything. This includes all energy, atoms, vibrations, chemicals, objects, entities, beings of all types, stars, sun, space, living or non-living things, or vibration frequencies from 0 to 10 to the 25th power of hertz, etc., and vibration frequencies or fields. Everything is from a physics standpoint. There are two kinds of fields, one moving, two non-moving. Since the universe has been here forever past, forever present, and forever future, then life is also composed of fields. In this case, living fields. Without mass, virtually immortal, virtually indestructible, and mainly undetectable by any regular means, and equal or more intelligent than we are. A few illustrations will be shown to help grasp this, and a few things I've said as a basis. Hold on, please, for a few seconds. I'm going to move the camera. Now, let's continue, please. What you are seeing here, to begin with, is what a beat, a single beat, looks like. That's B-E-A-T, boom, and it sends out waves. Oscillate, this is oscillating, oscillation. That means going back and forth. Oscillating, back and forth, oscillating. Pulsate, pulsate means to expand and contract, pulsate. Vibrate means to go back and forth with extreme rapidity, like that, like that. Fluctuations mean that it's inconsistent pattern forms, and it can start, stop, go a long time, then stop. It fluctuates. It's not steady. Then undulate. Undulate means a smooth type wave motion, undulate. Now, let's continue. Now, this here is an atom. This right here is an atom. This atom is not a solid object in the usual sense of a solid. It is of extreme high frequency, either undulations or high frequency oscillations or high frequency pulsations or high frequency vibrations or high frequency fluctuations. Right around here is what's called a field limit. That's the limit of the atom's field itself. And this here is one single one of these right here. And this here is also the force with motion. Force with motion equals energy, which equals mass. And when it comes to atoms, atoms can be between 10 to the 9th power to 10 to the 24th power of vibrations of standing vibrational forms per second. Now, this was number 2. The first one you saw was number 1. This here is number 3. And this here is an atom. The atom itself is made of vectors of force. Also, limitation vectors inside in the field itself of the atom. Also, fields with energy. An atom is a field of moving force. A field of moving force. And that means it is composed of multiple vector fields. Let's go now to number 4. Number 4 is right here. This here is a molecule. This here is an atom right here, and this here is an atom, and you have atomic strong and weak forces inside the atom that makes up the vibrations and so on. You have the atomic field limit, the limit of the atom itself. Right here is a field, and right here is a field, a limit, and right here is the electromagnetic forces which holds both atoms together. Right here, these lines, right here, these lines right here, electromagnetic forces hold the atoms together, making up this right here, all the way around this large one here, makes the molecular field limit. This right here then becomes a molecule because it is made of more than one atom. Now, let's continue, please. Hold on. Let's continue. Now, what you are looking at, this here is an atom. It has a field limit. The atom has a field limit. And it has an electron, a neutron, and a proton. Right here are force vectors and scalars, which holds atoms together. These lines right here. And the field, and when you have atoms together in a single, if you have these fields, it produces a larger field around it, which sends out field Eigen waves, vibration contours, right here. Field Eigen waves, vibrations, contours in every direction. And these right here, amongst the atoms themselves, right up in here, right up in there, these right here, are atomic product traveling. These are atomic products. The atomic product between the electron, neutrons, and protons creates an atomic product, a traveling electromagnetic undulation. The nucleus itself becomes an Ig field of vibrations, sent out in every direction. Now, that was number 5. And this is the atomic field limit of all 3 of these composed objects. Now, let's go to number 6, please. This here's a proton. This here's an electron. This here's a neutron right here. Right here, these lines right here is force vectors and scalars. Right here. And this here, these right here, these right here, this is a molecule. The molecule all the way around, 3 atoms. 3 atoms making up a molecule right here. These are atoms. And this is as a whole is a molecule. This here's the molecular field limit right here, all the way around this big one. The force vectors and scalars, and right here it sends out waves of undulating contours throughout so-called space. These are Ig pulsate, undulate fronts. They are electromagnetic vibrations, fields, contours. Ig pulsate, undulate fronts, electromagnetic vibrations, fields, contours. Now, let's continue. I'm going to take this down. Hold on, please. Hold on, please. Now, let's continue, please. This here's a light wave, an electromagnetic light wave, which vibrates between 10 to the 9th power to 10 to the 18th power waves, traveling waves, that is, per second. Right here is what I consider a living being to be composed of, to some degree at least, even a small degree. A living being made of nothing but light. You have traveling waves. These black lines, the black lines here, all of these wavy black lines are traveling waves, just like light waves. Right here, when traveling waves crisscross each other in specific ways, they become standing waves right here, right where they meet, right where they meet, right where they meet. Over here in the green right here, all of the different green crisscross where the standing wave, the traveling waves, crisscross called standing waves. That's what I consider living beings. At least maybe one of the things that a living being made of nothing but light is composed of. Let's continue. This here is a field. All of it is a field, of course, but this here is also a field. But in this particular case, it is a contour field. It has no motion. It is force without energy. Why? Because energy is force in motion. Hence, right here, let's go from number 9, let's go to number 10, please. These here are fields. All of these dark black lines are fields, or small fields of contoured fields, and they are balanced motion and non-motions right here in this yellow where they meet. They are contoured fields with motion or energy is right here in the yellow here, right here in the yellow, right here in the yellow. The union of fields, action, reactions, connections are networks, extremely complex networks right here. These are extremely complex networks. These here are different contoured fields, force without energy. Right here. Force without energy until they connect and create networks. Now, let's go to the next, please. This is basic physics. Basic physics. This here is classical physics, where force is equal to mass times acceleration. Modern physics is force times motion times contoured fields equals force equals mass or force in motion, where F equals m times a for classical and modern physics, and E is equal to mc squared, or mass, which moves at the speed of light. Now, Tesla physics is the next. You have classical, modern physics, then Tesla physics, in which force is contoured field, a contoured field without motion. No mass, no motion, no vectors, scalars, but no energy. Hence, energy is equal to F times n, or contoured field force in motion. I want to thank everyone for listening and watching, and please have a very good day. Subscribe, share this video, please, and we will see each other again soon.